Religious and spiritual beginnings. As we discussed in the last video, actual physical evidence of ancient flutes predate any known major religion. But it is important to understand how these legends and/or myths used or mentioned the flute. These stories have all contributed to the flute culture that we have today. They have not only inspired composers, but they have helped keep flute playing alive as people usually hold on to and pass down their religious traditions. The first entity we will come across is the Hindu god Krishna, dating as far back as 3000 BC. He is a major deity to the Hindus and is the god of compassion, tenderness, and love. Most important to our flute history series is the fact that Krishna is often depicted with his flute that he started playing as a young prankster godlike child. The Hindus worship him on his birthday, which depending on the lunar calendar, falls in late August or early September. The very first known depiction comes from the 1st to 2nd century AD, seen here. The piece seems to show Krishna's father, Vasudeva, carrying baby Krishna in a basket across the Yamuna, the second largest tributary river of the Ganges. It is told that Krishna played his flute down by the Yamuna, and the cowherdy girls would come to dance and sing with him. For Hindus, he is love eternal in existence. Our next spiritual figure is that of the Egyptian god Osiris, the great-grandson of the god Ra, the supposed creator of the world. Dating from 2500 BC or even earlier, he is the god of fertility, agriculture, the afterlife, the dead, resurrection, life, vegetation, and the moon. Osiris invented and played the flute according to the ancient Egyptians. His ending was not good though. His brother Set cut him into pieces. Isis, his wife, went to collect the pieces and wrapped him up, making him one of the first to be mummified. Of other significant interest are flutists mentioned in early Jewish and Christian texts, dating from as far back as 1445 BC. In the 4th book of Genesis, the first book of the Jewish and Christian holy texts, we find this starting with the 17th verse. Cain made love to his wife, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Enoch. To Enoch was born Arad, and Arad was the father of Mahujal, and Mahujal was the father of Methushal, and Methushal was the father of Lamech. Lamech married 2 women, one named Ada. Ada gave birth to Jabal, and his brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of all who play stringed instruments and pipes. The supposed oldest book of the Christian Bible, Job, of 2000 BC, or the scholarly 6th century BC, also brings up flutists. Job 21:12. They sing to the music of tambourine and lyre, they make merry to the sound of the pipe. Job 30:31. My lyre is tuned to mourning, and my pipe to the sound of wailing. Finally, we get to the ancient Greek god named Pan, a half-man, half-goat. The earliest reference to Pan comes from 474 BC. Pan is the god of the wild, shepherds and flocks, rustic music and impromptu, theatrical criticism, and constant charmer of the river nymphs, his muses. There was one nymph in particular that Pan wanted to win over, but ended rather strangely. The nymph named Syrinx was being pursued by Pan, and she ran to the banks of the river asking her fellow river nymphs for help, but she was transformed into hollow water reeds. When Pan reached Syrinx, it was too late. He sighed across the water reeds, and they made a haunting sound. Pan then fashioned the reeds together, making the first panpipes, called the syrinx. The story is later adopted by the Roman Empire. Fun facts: the word panic comes from the god Pan, and the word syringe derives from syrinx. All of these figures or texts provide a more spiritual or religious insight into the flute. While the texts say the word flute or pipe, what instrument are they actually referring to during the age of antiquity? That's in the next video.